losing all inner dialogue and not going mad. Imagine this. You wake up one morning, and the voice in your head is gone. No narration, no commentary, no "I wonder what I should do today." Just stillness. Not a stillness you created, not a silence from practice, but the complete and unexpected absence of inner dialogue. No thoughts naming what you see, no opinions forming before you speak, no me rehearsing what to say or analyzing what just happened. The voice is gone. And for many who arrive here, the first reaction is not bliss, it is fear. Because we've been conditioned to believe that the thinking mind is sanity, that the inner voice is what keeps us organized, grounded, real. But this is the illusion. In truth, there is a sacred space beyond thought, a reality so still, so open, so sane, that the ego cannot survive it. This is the story of what happens when inner dialogue disappears, and why it might just be the most important thing that ever happens to you. Part 1. What inner dialogue really is. The inner voice is not your essence. It is a habit, a stream of commentary layered over reality. It says, "That's a tree." She looks upset. "I hope I don't mess this up. Why did I say that?" It names, it judges, it compares, it plans. And most of us live inside this river of self-talk without realizing it. We confuse it for intelligence. We believe it keeps us safe, but it doesn't. It simply filters reality through memory. It's not perceiving the world, it's commenting on it after the fact. And at a certain point in your awakening, it begins to feel like noise, like static over the signal of life. Part 2. The collapse of inner dialogue. The loss of inner dialogue often happens suddenly. It may follow a deep spiritual opening, a spontaneous insight, a profound meditation, or a breakdown of ego identity. Or it may happen gradually, as silence deepens and commentary begins to seem irrelevant. And then one day, you notice it's gone. You're brushing your teeth and there's no voice narrating it. You're walking down a hallway and there's just walking. You're seeing the world directly, without words, without framing, without opinion. And the shocking thing is, you're not confused. In fact, you've never been more clear. There is only what is. Part 3. The fear that arises. For many, this shift feels unsettling, not because anything bad is happening, but because it violates what we've been taught to believe. We are conditioned to equate thinking with sanity, and when that inner voice disappears, the mind panics. Am I dissociating? Is this some kind of breakdown? Have I lost control? But what's actually happened is that control has lost you. The need to grasp, to explain, to orient has fallen away, and the ego, not being needed, begins to dissolve. This isn't madness. This is the undoing of the mental narrator who never truly knew anything. And what rises in its place is awareness itself, silent, unshaken, whole. Part 4. What life feels like without inner dialogue. Let's explore the real-world experience. 1. Sensory immediacy. The world feels more vivid. You see colors more sharply. You hear sounds without labeling them. You feel life directly unfiltered. 2. Emotional clarity. Feelings arise without explanation. There's no story attached, just pure emotion. Sadness comes and leaves. Joy arises and fades. There's no need to hold or analyze. 3. Spontaneity in speech. You don't plan what to say. Words come as needed. Conversation flows without rehearsal. 4. Timelessness. Without the voice constantly anchoring you in the past or future, you dwell in the now, effortlessly. 5. Effortless functioning. Tasks get done. Decisions are made, but there's no mental spinning, just clear, quiet doing. And above all, there's peace. Not the peace of quiet surroundings, but the peace of no longer being haunted by yourself. Part 5. Common misconceptions. Let's address the fears. Will I lose the ability to think? No. Thinking still happens when needed, like turning on a faucet. But it doesn't run constantly. And when it does run, it's quieter, cleaner, more direct. Will I become passive? No. You may actually become more efficient, because without the interference of mind chatter, your actions are clear. Will I lose my personality? You may lose your persona, but not your presence. What remains is authentic, simple, free. Is this enlightenment? Not yet, but it is a doorway, because when the voice goes silent, you finally see that you were never the voice. You were always the awareness beneath it. Part 6. How this change affects relationships. At first, others may notice a difference. You speak less. You listen more. You don't react as quickly. You're not as concerned with being right. Some may find you distant. Others will find you comforting. You become a mirror. People feel seen because you're no longer projecting onto them. You no longer need to insert yourself into conversations. You don't dominate space with your narrative. You're simply present. And this presence heals. It invites others to rest, to soften, to question their own story. Because you're not feeding the collective noise. You're living in the space beneath it. Part 7. How to live with the silence. If you've already entered this state, here's how to stabilize it. 1. Don't chase the voice. If it tries to return, don't resist it, but don't follow it either. Let it rise and fall like wind. 2. Trust the silence. Silence is not empty. It is full of intelligence, deeper than words. 3. Let life flow through you. Don't try to control this new reality. You are being lived. Trust it. 4. Honor your nervous system. Drink water, rest, walk in nature. This silence can be vast. Let the body integrate it gently. 5. Welcome the unknown. Without the inner voice, you won't always know what's next. Let this be a blessing, because when you stop naming life, you begin to live it. Mystical reflection. Losing the inner voice is not a loss. It is a returning to the original awareness, to the unspoken moment, to the you before you had a name. It is the falling away of mirrors, the end of rehearsal, the vanishing of the audience. And in this sacred silence, you begin to hear something new, not in words but in presence. The world speaks, and you finally hear, not with your mind, but with your being.